I, 32 male, was engaged to Vanessa, 29, for 8 months. Together for 3 years total. Everything started unraveling 2 weeks ago during what was supposed to be a routine wedding planning dinner. We were at this Italian place she picked, going over vendor quotes. I'd already mentally prepared for a decent hit to my savings, maybe $20,000 to $25,000 for a nice wedding. We both have good jobs. I'm in IT consulting. She's in pharmaceutical sales. Thought we were on the same page about being reasonable. Then she drops the folder on the table. Gold embossed. Inside, quotes totaling $52,000, not including the honeymoon. "This is perfect," she says, sipping her wine like she didn't just show me a year's salary and party expenses. I nearly choked on my breadstick. "Vanessa, we can't afford this." She tilted her head, that little smile she does when she thinks I'm being slow. "We can if we're smart about it. Your bonus, my commission from Q4, and our families will contribute. My bonus is for the house down payment. We discussed this. Houses can wait. Weddings are once in a lifetime. So are houses at these interest rates?" I said, try to keep it light. Her face changed. That's when she said it. "I deserve a $50,000 wedding after everything I've put up with, Derek." Record scratch moment. Put up with. She started listing. My gaming nights with friends, once a week. My obsession with budgeting, I track expenses. The time I missed her work party for my dad's surgery. How I embarrass her by driving a 6-year-old Honda instead of upgrading. How her friend Brittany had a $75,000 wedding and we can't look cheap. I sat there, genuinely stunned. This woman I was planning to marry thought she was suffering through some terrible ordeal being with me. "You're right," I said quietly. "You deserve everything you've got coming." She smiled, thinking she won. "So we're doing this. Can I see the ring for a second? Want to check if it needs cleaning before the wedding." She handed it over without thinking. I pocketed it. "Derek, what? The engagement's off. You deserve better than someone you have to put up with." Her face went through about 6 different expressions. Confusion, shock, anger, then this weird calculating look. "You're joking." "Nope. I'll have your things packed by Thursday." The rest of that dinner was surreal. She went from angry to crying to threatening to bargaining in about 15 minutes. The other diners were definitely getting a show. I paid the check and left while she was mid-sentence about how I was overreacting. Update 1. Holy crap, the entitlement train has left the station and it's not stopping. Thursday came. I'd taken the day off, packed all Vanessa's stuff carefully in boxes, labeled everything. Her cousin Tony came with a U-Haul to get it all. Decent guy, looked embarrassed about the whole thing. "Sorry about this, man," he said while we loaded boxes. "Not your fault. She's something right now." Friday morning, 7 a.m., my doorbell goes off like someone's trying to Morse code an emergency. Vanessa's mom, Diane, and her sister, Heather, on my doorstep. "Diane, we need to talk about this situation." "Me? No, we don't." "Heather, you humiliated my sister. In public. Over money." "Me? She humiliated herself. I just declined to fund it." Diane pulled out her phone, showed me a spreadsheet. An actual spreadsheet. "This is what you owe Vanessa for 3 years of emotional labor." I kid you not. They'd itemized everything. Listening to work problems, $50 per session. Attending your family events, $200 each. Dealing with your friends, $100 per gathering. Physical intimacy, I won't even say what they calculated for that. Total came to $47,000. I laughed. Couldn't help it. "This is insane." "It's what's fair," Diane said. "She invested 3 years. Either marry her with the wedding she deserves, or compensate her. Get off my property." Heather stepped forward. "We're not leaving until. Then I'll call the police." I took out my phone. They left, but not before Diane said, "You'll regret this. We know people." That afternoon, my boss called me into his office. Someone had sent an anonymous email claiming I was emotionally unstable and had violent tendencies. Attached were screenshots of texts where I'd said things like, "I'm going to destroy this deadline," and "I could kill for coffee right now." Normal stuff taken completely out of context. My boss, thankfully, knows me well. "Derek, this is obviously BS, but HR needs you to make a statement." I explained the situation. He actually laughed at the spreadsheet story. HR documented everything and noted it was likely retaliation. But they weren't done. Saturday, I wake up to 50-plus notifications. Vanessa had gone nuclear on social media. Posted our story with creative editing. According to her version, I've been financially abusing her for years, promising a dream wedding then yanking it away to control her. She included photos of us where I looked angry, mid-sneeze at her birthday, her crying from a movie we watched, and somehow made it seem like I was this monster. The post went mini viral in our circle. 1,200 reactions, hundreds of comments. People I hadn't talked to since high school were calling me an abuser. But here's where Vanessa messed up. She included details. Specific details. Like how I refused to pay for the wedding, but bought a new gaming system. I bought a used PS4 2 years ago. How I spent thousands on boys' trips. One camping weekend that cost $200. I screenshot everything. Then I posted my own response. Just facts. The actual vendor folder with the $52,000 total. Her quote about putting up with me. The spreadsheet her mom made. My bank records showing I'd paid 60% of her shared expenses despite us earning similarly. Screenshots of her texts planning girls' trips to Vegas and Miami while claiming we needed to save. Caption, the truth is free. $50,000 weddings aren't. The tide turned fast. Her friends started deleting their supportive comments. Brittany, the one with the $75K wedding, she commented, "Girl, you said he was the cheap one?" Update 2. The crazy escalated beyond anything I imagined. Monday morning, I get a call from my credit card company. Someone had tried to make a $5,000 purchase at a bridal salon using my card number. Declined because I'd frozen everything after we split. Security footage showed Vanessa and Heather at the store. She'd memorized my card info apparently. Filed a police report. Detective was surprisingly interested once I showed him the harassment pattern. Tuesday, Vanessa's dad, Phil, shows up. I actually liked Phil. Thought he was the reasonable one. "Derek, let's fix this," he starts. "Phil, she tried to commit credit card fraud. She's emotional. You know how women get about weddings. She committed fraud." He pulls out checkbook. "What's it going to take? 5 grand? 10? Let's end this. Are you trying to bribe me? I'm trying to help you both move on. Then tell your daughter to stop committing crimes." He wrote a check for $15,000, left it on my doorstep. I photographed it and texted him that I wasn't cashing it and to please collect it. He never did. I kept it as evidence. Wednesday was quiet. Too quiet. Thursday, all hell broke loose. I get home from work to find my landlord, 3 police officers, and Vanessa on my lawn. She's sobbing, mascara everywhere, holding her arm. "Cop, sir, we need to ask you some questions." Vanessa had filed a report claiming I'd assaulted her that morning. Said I grabbed her arm and threatened her when she came to get her grandmother's necklace. 2 problems with her story. 1, I had been in client meetings all morning 40 miles away with 12 witnesses and security cam footage. 2, her grandmother's necklace was in the jewelry box I'd returned the previous Thursday. I had Tony's signature confirming receipt. I showed the cops my work calendar, emails, toll road receipts. They looked increasingly annoyed. Vanessa started changing her story. Maybe it was yesterday or Tuesday. The bruise on her arm looked suspiciously like finger marks, but they were on the wrong arm from what she'd initially claimed. One cop pulled me aside. "Between you and me, file for a restraining order." Today, Vanessa realized she was losing. Started screaming that I was manipulating everyone, that the system protects abusers, that she'd make sure everyone knew what I was. As the cops led her away, they gave her a warning for filing a false report. She yelled, "You'll never find anyone like me." That's the point. I yelled back. My landlord, who'd been silent until now, just patted my shoulder. "Son, I'll be your witness for that restraining order." Update 3. The restraining order was granted as an emergency temporary order Friday afternoon. Court date set for a permanent one in 2 weeks. That should have been the end, right? Nah. Saturday, I'm at the grocery store. Who do I run into? Vanessa's best friend, Monica. She actually seemed apologetic. "Derek, I'm really sorry about everything. I had no idea she was like this." "Thanks, Monica. Can I ask, What really happened? The real story. I gave her the short version. Her face just kept getting more shocked. She showed me a ring last month, Monica said quietly. A different ring. Said she was on upgrade without telling you. Return yours and use the money for the wedding. My stomach dropped. What? She had this whole plan. The $50,000 wedding was just phase one. She figured once you were married, she'd have access to everything anyway. I thanked Monica and immediately called my lawyer. Yeah, I had to get one at this point. Sunday was interesting. Vanessa's church friends started reaching out. Turns out she'd been telling them we were already married, just waiting for the ceremony. She'd been getting shower gifts and cash donations for our missionary fund. We never discussed any mission work. Ever. Monday, the real bombs dropped. My lawyer had done some digging. Vanessa had opened 2 credit cards using our address, and her name with me listed as an authorized user without my knowledge. Both maxed out, $8,000 each. She'd been paying minimums from our joint checking, which I closed, thank God. But here's the kicker. She'd applied for a $30,000 personal loan, forging my signature as co-signer. It hadn't been approved yet, but it was in process. My lawyer earned his fee that day. We filed identity theft reports, fraud charges for the forgery, civil suit for damages, updated the restraining order violation with new evidence. The permanent restraining order hearing came. Vanessa showed up with a lawyer her parents hired. She wore a neck brace. A neck brace. Claimed emotional trauma had caused physical symptoms. Her lawyer tried to paint me as vindictive. My lawyer calmly presented the forged loan documents, the fraudulent credit cards, Monica's sworn affidavit about the ring scheme, the missionary fund fraud. 3 church members came as witnesses. Her social media posts admitting she was never physically harmed. The spreadsheet from her mom, judge, actually laughed. Security footage from the bridal store. The judge wasn't just unimpressed with Vanessa. He was pissed. Miss Patterson, you've wasted this court's time, filed false police reports, committed identity theft, fraud, and forgery. The restraining order is granted for 3 years. I'm also recommending the prosecutor review this case for criminal charges. Vanessa fainted. Actually fainted. Or pretended to. Hard to tell at that point. Final update. It's been 2 months since the restraining order. Here's where everyone ended up. Vanessa was charged with identity theft, forgery, and fraud. Her parents hired a good lawyer who got her a plea deal, 2 years probation, 200 hours community service, and she had to pay back everyone she defrauded. The church people were surprisingly forgiving and didn't press additional charges, just wanted their money back. The credit cards in my name were voided after the fraud investigation. The loan application was canceled. My credit took a hit, but it's recovering. Diane and Phil declared bankruptcy. Turns out they'd been funding Vanessa's lifestyle for years, including taking out a second mortgage for what they told people was home improvements, but was actually Vanessa's previous wedding to a guy named Marcus. Oh yeah, she was married before. For 6 months. That guy sent me a sympathy card with a note. Welcome to the club. There's dozens of us. Not really, but at least 3 that I know of. Heather distanced herself from the whole family. Messaged me an apology. Said she had no idea about the spreadsheet until her mom showed it to me, and that she only went along because Vanessa threatened to reveal that Heather was having an affair. She wasn't. Vanessa was just that manipulative. Tony, the cousin who helped move her stuff, reached out last week. Apparently, Vanessa has been telling everyone I'm in jail for assault, and that's why no one's seen me. He wanted to confirm I was alive and free. We actually grabbed a beer. Cool dude. He said the family's basically imploded. Vanessa's living with her parents, working at a call center, and still posting about her dream wedding that was stolen from her. Monica and some of the other friends have completely cut Vanessa off. Monica actually introduced me to her cousin, Laura. We've been on 2 dates, taking it slow, but she's already joked about eloping if things work out. I said I'd consider it if the budget stays under $50. She laughed and said, $50? Big spender. I was thinking courthouse and tacos. I might be in love. The engagement ring? Sold it. Used the money for a vacation. Went parasailing. Posted a picture with the caption, finally reaching new heights after dropping 130 pounds of dead weight. Vanessa's mom commented from a fake account, "You'll die alone." I replied, better than dying inside with your daughter. My lawyer says I can probably sue for damages and emotional distress. I'm not going to. I just want to move on. The best revenge is living well. And I'm living pretty damn well without someone who thinks they deserve a reward for putting up with me. Last I heard through the grapevine, Vanessa was trying to start a GoFundMe for her stolen dream wedding and legal persecution. It raised $3.50. Someone donated just a comment. This is 3.50 more than you deserve. Brutal, but accurate. Looking back, the red flags were there. The constant comparisons to her friends' relationships. The way she'd track every cent I spent but hide her purchases. How she'd threatened to tell people the truth about me during minor arguments. I just thought it was wedding stress. Nope, it was her personality. To anyone reading this, if your partner says they deserve something expensive because they put up with you, run. Don't walk. Run. Real love doesn't keep a spreadsheet. Oh, and Phil's check? Still sitting in my lawyer's office safe. Uncashed. Phil won't ask for it back because then he'd have to admit he tried to bribe me. It's become a running joke. My lawyer wants to frame it with a caption. The price of dodging a bullet. Priceless. The check they try to pay you with. $15,000. I'm keeping the PS for, though. That new gaming system has gotten me through a lot these past few months. Worth every penny of that $150 I paid for it 2 years ago. Vanessa, if you're reading this from one of your fake accounts, yes, I'm still gaming with the boys every Wednesday. No, it's not ruining my life. And yes, my Honda still runs great. Just hit 100K miles and still going strong. Unlike our relationship, which couldn't even make it to the altar.